basketball action here in the 3C2A. Second game of the WSC schedule coming a little later than expected. The College of the Canyons and Antelope Valley getting ready to lock it up here at Lee Smelser Court inside the Cougar Cage. I'm Matt Robinson, glad to have you along with us as always here on the Cougar Sports Network. Well, the COC men coming off a big win the other night on Saturday, against Glendale, one of their best performances of the season. Actually, really, in terms of points total, their second best output of the season. Won 96-74, their second highest offensive output. They shot 51% from the floor, 47.8% from three. They out-rebounded the Vaqueros by 11, and they turned the ball over just 15 times, which is one of their better outputs of the year as well. A very solid game for College of the Canyons in the victory. One of their, like we said, best of the season, trying to capitalize on that and win for the third time in a row for the first time this season. They have not had a winning streak over 2 games, and that is the winning streak that they are currently on, a 2-game winning streak. Trying to make it 3 in a row. If they want to do so, they're going to need a lot of help from this guy. He had a huge game on Saturday. Wyatt Wilson, his best game of the season, 32 points, 9 boards in 35 minutes. Was absolutely impressive. Lit the game up from 3. He was 5 of 8 from 3, 1 of 1 from the line, 13 of 18 from the floor. We'll need to continue a similar output in the ball game for College of the Canyons as they try and stop an Antelope Valley attack that, again, is a 3-headed monster. The Marauders really lean on Mr. Burnside, Malik Lorraine, and Yosef Major. Those are their 3 leading scorers, all in double figures. As you look at the Marauders' numbers through the season compared to College of the Canyons, both right about even in points per game, both right about even in field goal percentage. Canyons shoots the 3 ball a lot better than Antelope Valley, almost 10% better, or actually just over 10% better. For the Cougars this year, they're actually the 18th ranked team in 3-point shooting percentage this year compared to Antelope Valley, who's 96th, near the bottom of the state in 3-point shooting percentage for John Taylor's squad. Both teams really in the negative in net efficiency. Antelope Valley, a much better rebounding team at a plus 7.3 compared to a negative 1.5 for Howard Fisher in his 22nd season as the Cougars head coach. We'll take a look at the starting lineups now for both sides. For Antelope Valley, Mr. Burnside, Malik Lorraine, Ashton Eckert, Yosef Major, and Tony Corley will get the start. For College of the Canyons, the same starting lineup as the other night on Saturday against Glendale. Donovan Cornelius, Stacy Webb, Wyatt Wilson, Donovan Chapman, and Glad Ziegel will start. That was the lineup that started the game for Canyons against Glendale and really drove the bus throughout the game for the 5 and 10 Cougars. In their blue uniforms, blue crush night here at College of the Canyons. Antelope Valley in their maroons with silver numbers. It'll be Wyatt Wilson against Tony Corley to jump. Wilson, not a guy that you would expect to be up there leaping for the basketball at the start of games, but he wins the opening tip as he has done for most of the year this year when he's in there. Wilson can absolutely jump out of the building as Canyons to work on offense for the first time. Here's a 3 from Cornelius on the way. Rattles around, doesn't fall. Good inside position that time from Mr. Burnside, and he'll bring it up the floor for Antelope Valley. They'll get it over to Eckert. In the inside to Corley, and he's got the first bucket of the ball game. The Marauders with an early 2-0 lead. So Canyons a little slower start than they had against Glendale. They got a first possession bucket from Wyatt Wilson that time. This time we're not able to connect from Cornelius, but nonetheless, just underway. 1 possession for each team. This is the second for Canyons, trailing 2-0. Here's Donovan Chapman. Chapman's been solid as of late. Has been on a scoring run. We'll talk about that more as we continue on. There's Cornelius into the corner. Wilson with 1 to go on the shot clock. Rattled in and out. Ziegel couldn't pull down the rebound, but Corley couldn't hold on to it as it bounced off him and went out of play. And Canyons will get a 20-second reset here with the basketball. Back to work. Trying to run that inbound play that we saw work to perfection for Wilson, who will set into a 3 here wide open, no good. Canyons 0 for 3 from triple so far to start. Not a good start for a pretty decent shooting team for College of the Canyons. Antelope Valley back to work with the basketball. Malik Lorraine will send it in. Ashton Eckert catches. Guarded by Stacy Webb. We'll get it to Lorraine, trying to drive against Wilson, who stops him, and then, foul gonna be called against Wilson. Not sure about it, as Lorraine really just lost the basketball. Take another look here, see if we can pick up an image on it. You see Lorraine catches on this near side. Wilson bumps him the first time. Maybe got to reach in to poke it out, but got enough of a hand on it to call the foul. Second foul of the ball game on Canyons. Canyons, one of the most penalized teams in the state of California in terms of fouls. They're the best team in the state of California in terms of drawing fouls. They trail 4-0 as Joseph Major gets a bucket. Canyons this season drawing 21.5 fouls per game, first most in the state. They average 18.8 against as Galad Zigel gets a bucket, first of the day for him, first of the game for Canyons, and it's a 2-point game just 2 minutes in. Zigel on a scoring run himself, 3 straight games with 10 or more points. Chapman has been solid as of late, 22 and 11 the other day. He's got 4 double-doubles now, 4 double-doubles in his last 5 games. There's a bucket for Antelope Valley as Tony Corley, who averages 18.1 a game, gets his second bucket of the day, makes it 6-2 in favor of Antelope Valley. Chapman a 3, no good. Zigel an offensive rip. Canyons will reset here as Webb will run the point. Works off the Zigel screen into a 3 from straight away, too strong. Canyons just ice cold from 3 to start, 0 for 5. And that's led to a 4-point Antelope Valley lead. Make it a 6-point lead as Mr. Burnside gets on the board for the first time today. His first field goal is good. And make it an 8-2 lead in favor of Antelope Valley just about 3 minutes in. Canyons turns it over. Zigel couldn't catch on the inbound. Howard Fisher unhappy here early on, hollering down at the team down the far end of the floor, trying to get everybody settled in, as Canyons has not shot the ball well to start. 1 of 6 from the floor here early on. Their only bucket from Galad Zigel coming inside the painted area. Here's Burnside working against Cornelius, off the window and in. Burnside now with 4. Lead is now 8. Canyons needs to get going. They have not shot the ball well. They turn it over once again as Corley steps in to take it over from Wilson on the pass inside to Zigel. Canyons needs to find their legs here. A sluggish start in the first 4 minutes. They get a break this time as the bounce pass between the legs of Corley. And this is part of that youth from Canyons. We talk about this team, only 1 sophomore on the squad this year, and that's Roz Orbach. Everybody else brand new, their first season together, all freshmen. And really in the 3C2A, you kind of expect a lot of freshmen on the roster as everybody forced. Counted in the foul for Zigel as he drives and lays it in on the reverse layup, and he'll go to the line. We talk about the youth. This is some of it right here. You can see Zigel catching off the inbound. And since he's been inserted into the starting lineup, it's given Canyons a bit of a different look as he drives and scores. Zigel, the 6'4 freshman guard out of Taft High School, tries for the 3-point play. Just a 50% foul shooter, misses, and it'll stay at a 6-point game. So we're talking about the youth for Canyons, all freshmen except for Orbach. And it's just a matter of consistency at this point in the season for Canyons, as there's Wilson with another block. Wyatt Wilson this year, 10 blocks now, and he'll get the finish on the other side. His first bucket of the day. Canyons back within 4. A block on the defensive end for Wyatt Wilson, a finish on the other side for him as well. We're back within 4 to a 2-possession game. Burnside trying to drive. Cornelius able to alter that time. Corley able to catch and just out-muscle Zigel on the air ball and puts it in. Corley now with 6 points. Canyons will have a tough time against him, the 6'8 freshman out of Lancaster High School. The Cougars don't play with a lot of size. They really don't have any on the roster. Cornelius able to muscle his way down and get a bucket, though. Their tallest players are Nigel Proverbs and Brian Ososki, both at 6'5", so Canyons really don't have a matchup against Corley down low if Antelope Valley wants to try and exploit it. Gonna be tough for Zigel to guard him down low. Eckert will swing it into the corner here for Major. Major trying to take Chapman, off the dribble. Chapman a good contest on defense, able to alter his shot. Webb quickly ahead, bounce pass Chapman, reverse layup is good! And Canyons back within 2, a chance to make it a 1-point game with Donovan Chapman, excuse me, going to the line. Sweet pass here from Webb. The auto camera a little behind, but you see the finish that time from Donovan Chapman. Ladzi Gill off the floor. Raz Orbach with his tape on his left knee and a brace on the right into the game. Orbach's been battling some knee issues a little bit this year. Getting some minutes off the bench today. Chapman, a 75% foul shooter, 53 for 70 on the season. One of the better foul shooters on the Canyon squad. But the broadcaster jinx in full effect as he misses, and it stays a 2-point game at 12-10. 5 minutes gone here in the first half. Antelope Valley in the lead. They work with the basketball as Rajon Chambers into the game for the first time. Runs the point, skips it inside. Major trying to back down Chapman. Tied up by Cornelius. Jump ball, possession arrow, Antelope Valley, but that'll switch the arrow. Good job by Canyons to defend. It'll stay with the Marauders with 13 seconds, and we'll see our first substitution for Canyons in terms of point guard positioning, as Donovan Cornelius will check out. Justin Perez, the leading scorer for Canyons, who averages 14.4, coming off the bench for the third straight game, checks in. Off the inbound play, Major gets a bucket. It's back to a 4-point lead. Canyons will quickly try and press the pace ahead. Wilson will catch and give it to Webb. Webb tries to skip it inside to Orbach. And a foul going to be called against Tony Corley for a little bit too heavy of contact on Orbach. Second foul on Antelope Valley, first on Corley. Corley going to sub to the bench. Antelope Valley going to bring in Keeson Smelser, the 6'8" freshman out of Quartz Hill. Webb off the inbound, misses on an air ball. Chapman able to pull it down and come away. Canyons will reset here. Plenty of time to work. Perez on the far side, trying to drive baseline. Gets to the basket, tried to draw contact, couldn't get it to fall. Smelser able to box everybody out and allow Ashton Eckert to pick up the rebound, and he'll bring it up the floor. Burnside for Antelope Valley will dump off. Chambers will work it back to the top. Eckert on the far side, gives it to Smelser out beyond 3. Now Chambers. Far side Eckert trying to drive, stop in the lane, a jumper short. Bounces off the rim. Canyon's able to find it on the floor, and they'll try and run the fast break the other way. Now they'll slow it up as Webb gets into the front court, and the Cougars go back to work on a half-court offense. Donovan Chapman here with the basketball. Round to Perez. He can shoot the 3 well. Knocks this one down, and it's a 1-point game. Perez, a 40% three-point shooter on the year. 23 of 56 now. Gets Canyons back within 1, his first 3 of the day, on his second shot of the day. There's Burnside, trying to take Perez off the dribble, spins back into the lane, throws it over to Eckert. Eckert stops at the edge of the painted area, misses strong on a little floater. Webb the rebound, sprints ahead. Webb wanting to slash, instead will bounce it into the corner to Perez. Canyons will work it around the perimeter. Chapman gets it to Webb. To Wilson. Wilson got knocked over nearly, got it back to Orbach, who tried to skip it back to Wilson, and it was defended. Good job by Mr. Burnside, the 6'3" freshman out of Palmdale, Paraclete High School grad, able to stay with Wilson. Orbach knocks the ball out of Burnside's hands, off his knees, out of play with 12:47. It's Canyons basketball, and substitutions coming for Antelope Valley as they'll get through their rotation here with Eckert and Major both going to the bench. Flowers into the game along with Demetrius Phillips. Orbach catches beyond 3. He wants to drive. 2 big steps off the window, and Canyons has their first lead of the ball game. 15-14 as Raz Orbach, the big man, driving that time, able to put it in. Antelope Valley back to work here. Flowers up top, deep 3 from Phillips is good. And back to a 2-point lead for Phillips. Just his 3rd triple of the season. 3 for 18 now, shooting 11%. But a big one right there. A couple of Marauders fighting for the ball. Canyon's able to recontrol. Perez looking for his second 3. He's got it. It's back to a 1-point lead. Trading 3s on each side. And if you're Antelope Valley, you certainly don't want to let Justin Perez get hot from 3. He snapped a 2-game streak of 10 or more points, had 11 straight to start the season. Didn't get into 10 points against Glendale, just 2 points. as there's an offensive foul on Antelope Valley against Rapine Vigaya. Fourth on Antelope Valley, first on Vigaya. Canyons with a 1-point lead, back to work. Cornelius going to come off the floor as, or excuse me, Cornelius going to come onto the floor as Chapman comes off the floor. Orbach again, those two big steps off the dribble, exploiting Keeson Caesar a couple of times out high. Orbach plays the 5, but is a guard really, and shows that guard ability. Good rebound from Cornelius. Drives in. Gian Figueroa into the game. Orbach called for a travel, 2 steps too many. Knocked down a 3, didn't like the call. Howard Fisher getting an explanation from the official on the far side through some sign language. Seemed like he accepted it. It'll stay at a 20-17 lead for Canyons here. Here's a 3 attempt for Flowers, no good. Perez, the rebound. Outlets as he was falling out of bounds to Cornelius. Cornelius skips it inside to Orbach. Orbach trying to back down Flowers. Throws it over. Ziegel, 2 steps, drives. A floater, no good. Perez able to fight for the rebound. Tried to draw contact. Thought he got it, but he didn't. We go on. 20-17 in favor of Canyons. Antelope Valley, a reverse layup attempt from Flowers, no good. Ziegel, the rebound. Canyons doing a nice job on the glass on both sides. They try and skip one in, defended by Antelope Valley. Fast break the other way for Flowers, an easy bucket for him. And Elijah Flowers has his first points of the ball game. It's back to a 1-point game. About halfway gone here in the first half. Canyons leading 20-19 at the moment. Here's Orbach. Over to Perez. Major out to cover him. Now Major guarding Orbach. Those two fighting for space. Shot not going to count because the foul was on the floor. It goes against Yusef Major. Second foul on Major, 5th on Antelope Valley. We talked about this in the women's game, but College of the Canyons games here at Lee Smelser Court, and really all College of the Canyons games this year on the men's side, are some of the most penalized games in the state of California. We already talked about Canyons, the #1 team at drawing fouls. They're also one of the worst teams at committing fouls, as Orbach has another bucket. Already 7 fouls here halfway through the first half. Orbach now with 6, lead back up to 3. Marauders back to work. Bagaya trying to work against Perez, dumped it down underneath. Orbach was trying to tie up Chambers, who missed on the first, missed on the second. Orbach pulls down the board. Canyons will go back to work. Cornelius will bring it up into the front court, guarded by Flowers here. Cornelius, pretty slick handling guard. He and Webb, when they both are out there, both handle well. Canyons nearly tried to get it inside to Cornelius on a Ziegel pass. Howard Fisher wanted a holding foul, didn't get the call. Armando Castruita coming into the game for the first time today for Antelope Valley to give Yusef Major another break. Canyons will inbound Perez, 12-footer. No good. And there's a foul under the basket on the rebound on Antelope Valley, their 6th. Goes against Demetrius Phillips. It'll give Canyons a reset in the ball underneath the basket on the Antelope Valley side. They'll inbound Orbach. Dumps Ziegel, nearly slipped, kicked it into the corner. Figueroa for 3 was short. Perez couldn't get the rebound as it bounced off his hands with some back pressure that time from Flowers. It'll be Marauder basketball, 9:08 to go, 22-19. Been a tight one so far. Marauders led for a time. Canyons has held on the lead for the last about 4 minutes here. Here's a 3 to tie for Chambers. It's good. We're even at 22, a fresh ball game. 8:50 to go. Chambers, his first bucket of the day. Canyons back to work. Ziegel trying to take Vigaya off the baseline. Vigaya fouls him on a reach. Thought he stripped him clean. And that's going to send Ziegel to the line for 1 and 1. Or are they going to give him 2? First foul on Vagaya. Ziegel at the line today, 0 of 1. Ziegel makes the first. John Taylor not happy with the call of 2 shots. He thought it should just be 1 and 1, but they said it was a shooting foul. I'm surprised it was a shooting foul. I did not think Ziegel was getting a shot off, but they said he was going up, and that's why. Misses the second, so it's a 1-point lead, 23-22. Here's Demetrius Phillips. Phillips, who averages a point, a little over 1.5 points per game. Really more of a ball-handling guard for Antelope Valley. They get it to Lorraine, who's been quiet so far. He's fouled by Figueroa. It is not a shooting foul, they say. It was a blocking foul. Donovan Chapman back into the game to take over for for Roz Orbach, excuse me. Antelope Valley will inbound. Burnside with the basketball, trying to drive baseline. Kicks it down. Vagaya able to get around Ziegel. 2 big strides to the window, and he lays it in. Find Vagaya his first bucket of the day. Here's Figueroa for 3. He has not made a shot in a while for Gian Figueroa. 0 for his last 8 now. He's 0 for 4 against Pierce, 0 for 2 against Glendale. And he'll come off the floor. Wyatt Wilson back in, 8:04 to go. 24-23 Antelope Valley lead. For Vagaya, averages just 5 points a game. Gets a bucket here a few seconds ago. Marauders 6 different scorers in the ball game so far. Canyon's the same. Here's Perez. Ian Orbach each was 6. Ziegel catches, dumps. Chapman off the window and in. Tried to draw contact. Got run into a little bit that time from Castruita, but they did not give him the foul. Nonetheless, it's a 1-point Canyons lead, 25-24. Castruita with the basketball, guarded by Chapman. He'll work it around. Burnside zips it inside. Vagaya out. Castruita for 3. Rattles in and out. Perez pulls it down. Castruita this year has not made a 3. Canyons will get it inside. Ziegel wide open off the window. Late whistle for a foul from Castruita that time. And Ziegel will go back to the line. So Ziegel has done a lot of work from the line today. 2 of 4 from the line. He's got 6 points. Canyons back with a 2-point lead. Stacey Webb checking in to take over for Perez. Canyons has seemed to have found something with Perez coming off the bench in that starting unit they had today. Chapman hustling for a rebound that time. Got it to Ziegel. Offensive foul going to be called against Ziegel as that time Castruita draws it. And that's going to bring Abdelnour into the game to take over for Ziegel, who has 2 fouls. So Abdelnour getting a shot here, averaging just 7 minutes a game. Going to come in with Ziegel with 2 fouls. Orbach still resting. Good bucket that time from Burnside. Chapman was just a half step late to try and come over on the help defense. Chapman now for 3 from the corner on the near side is good. So he makes up for the late on the bucket on the defensive side with a 3 on the offensive side. He leads the way for Canyons now with 7. A 3-point lead, 29-26. 6:25 to go here in the first half. Burnside with the basketball, the leader for Antelope Valley with 9 points. Vagaya now, a couple of stutter steps, gets it back to Burnside. Burnside going to work off the Vagaya screen. Now steps into a 3, knocks it down with a hand in his face, and a timeout by John Taylor. In a 29-all game, 6:10 to go here from Lee Smelser Court inside the Cougar cage. Breaking here on the Cougar Sports Network. 29 all, 6:10 to go here in the first period. Canyons in the bonus. Shooting 1-1 the rest of the way. Antelope Valley not close yet as Canyons just 4 fouls. Marauders get a steal. Burnside ahead to Phillips. Phillips dumping it off underneath. Good back pressure that time by Donovan Chapman, but they called a foul on Wyatt Wilson. Take a look and see if we can pick it up. I'm not sure if the replay is going to catch the last second. Ooh, Wilson kind of just cruised by, and they gave him a foul for a bump. He fouls Malik Lorraine, who this season is a 72.8% foul shooter, missed the first. 43 of 56 now on the year. Second is good. Antelope Valley back with a 1-point lead. Some time left in this first half. Perez in the corner didn't catch it cleanly. Now needs to get himself out of trouble. Got it to Abdelnour. Abdelnour had it stripped out of his hands. Marauders back the other way. Good finish that time from Phillips. He had Webb in his shirt and was just able to finish it around him. Extra pass into the corner. Chapman, three, he's got another. Second three of the game for Donovan Chapman. Canyons back even at 32 now. Cougars this season 3-1 when they make 10 or more threes in a game. They've got 4 so far in the first half. Trying to pick it up on the defensive side. Burnside back to work. Over to Phillips, a 3, no good. Canyons gets the rebound. Webb just sprinting ahead, trying to draw contact, missed. Didn't get the call. Antelope Valley a 2-on-none the other way. Nearly fumbled the basketball. Did Phillips, but he lays it in. Phillips, kind of an important guy in terms of the grand scheme of things for Antelope Valley. Shoots 32% in their wins. Doesn't score at all in their losses. So in terms of those numbers right now, granted only averages 1.8 points per game. His season high is 8, which he's right underneath at 7 right now. But he can be a guy that can make a little bit of a difference. Really, when you look down the line, we talked about Antelope Valley. It's that 3-headed monster: Burnside, Lorraine, and Major. Major with 4, Lorraine with 1. So 15 between the 3 of them as Burnside has 9. Orbach loses his footing. Burnside takes away the pass. Lorraine trying to get to the basket. Chapman might have fouled him, but they didn't call it. They're credited him with a block. Orbach trying to make that extra pass to Perez, and it goes out of play off of an Antelope Valley hand, and a 2-point AVC lead, 34-32. It's another thing to keep an eye on Orbach's end. 3.5 assists in wins, 1.6 in losses. When he is moving the ball for Canyons, they're effective on the offensive side. Doesn't have an assist so far today, but when he doesn't just catch and hold and try and bully his way in, it creates a much more dynamic offensive opportunity. Cornelius missed on a layup. Canyons able to get it back. Perez missed on a little putback, and then he draws a foul and will get to the line. That was a sloppy, awkward play down low on both sides, and I think both teams are lucky maybe they didn't get more than one foul called there. The Canyons will get credit and go to work at the line with Justin Perez, who's a 78.4% foul shooter, 40 of 51 on the year. His first trip to the line today, a chance to tie it at 34, with 3:54 to go here in the first half. Makes the first. Canyons from the line, 2 of 6 before that shot. For the Cougars this season, not a great effort at the foul line, 71.4%. But that is 24th in the state. They make 14 of 19.6 on average during the year. So not quite as high as they've had in previous years, but shooting a better percentage. Perez makes both of them. We're even at 34. Burnside trying to dish to the corner as Eckert back in there. Chambers now to Lorraine, 2 big steps, able to bump off Chapman. Rebound loose on the floor. Chapman able to recover it. and throws it up in the air to Perez. Good job by Chapman not to travel and find an open man. Perez gonna be called for an offensive foul. Castruita drawing at that time. We take a look. Actually, excuse me, that was Eckert that drew it. And he was well outside the restricted area. His feet were certainly planted up. That's the second foul on Perez. We'll send him to the bench. Him, Ziegel, and Wilson all with 2 fouls. Likely not to see them for the final 3:12. Antelope Valley trying to go back to work. Eckert dropping. Chambers working against Figueroa. Burnside now working against Cornelius. Good long reach from Burnside that time. The 6'3" freshman out of Paraclete makes it look easy. He's in double figures with 11 points. For the 12th time this season, he's got 11 points, or 10 points in a game. Orbach able to catch on a tipped ball. Sends it far side. Figueroa lost it for a second, but was able to re-catch it. 10 on the shot clock here. Webb working off the Orbach screen. Now gets it back to Orbach with 4 at the block. He puts it up off the window, and he'll get himself to the line. For Canyons today, Chapman with 10, already in double figures. We talked about him being on a scoring run. 4 of his last 5 have been double-doubles. He's got 4 boards and 3 assists as well. 9 games in double figures for him on the season. And he rebounds the ball well. Canyons is really good. They're 9.2 rebounds and wins versus 4.3 in losses. Orbach makes the first of 2. Orbach this season, 73.9% foul shooter. He's gotten a lot better at the line this year. Last year he struggled at times, but looks good there. Knocks them both down. We're even at 36 with 2:15 to go. Eckert for 3, no good. Orbach, the defensive rip. Cornelius ahead, now to Webb, back to Cornelius, into a 3 for the lead, short and flat. Back the other way, Antelope Valley running the fast break. Counted in the foul for Lorraine, who's hurt. And that doesn't look good, immediately clutching at his knee here. Webb just trying to contest, bounced into him. You can see Webb go up here. And I think Lorraine just came down a little awkwardly, so we'll hope he's all right. Athletic training staff gonna check on him. We'll take a break in a 38-36 game for Antelope Valley. So Malik Lorraine goes off. He's going to get some treatment here from Eric Petrongo, the athletic trainer. Elijah Flowers gets to step in to take the foul shots. The foul shot misses, so Canyons gets a touch of a break. As Flowers, a 44% foul shooter, doesn't knock it down. Compare that to Lorraine, who shoots 78 from the floor. So it's a 2-point game. Orbach, good pass. Figueroa trying to break the streak of missed shots. Does not that time. Two bodies in the corner. Tie up, arrow, Canyons. Orbach will catch out beyond three. Drops for Cornelius. Up to Figueroa. Canyons trying to go to work. 5 to shoot. Now 3. Cornelius just puts up a wild shot. It's a shot clock violation on College of Canyons. Just never got settled in that half-court set that time. And Antelope Valley with a good defensive set. 1:17 to go here in the first half, 38-36. Antelope Valley with a 2-point lead off that Malik Lorraine bucket as he gets treatment over there. Just 3 points for him today. Now a little bit of an injury on top of it, so they'll check him out as he's running in the back of your screen. Marauders back to work. Burnside, who's been the leader today, dumps it to Flowers. That is a beautiful pass from Burnside. Guy that can certainly dish the basketball. 52 assists on the year, averages 3.5 per game. Back to a 4-point lead with 43 seconds to go. Cornelius to Webb. Thought about a 3. Instead of drive, a jump stop. Got it to Chapman, who was driving back through the middle. He missed. Got his own board. Trying to go back up. Contact and the foul. Or bucket in the foul, we should say. So Chapman working off his own miss that time. See him collect his own rebound, and then he goes right back up. And the foul from behind on, they gave it to Phillips. His second. A chance to get it back to a 1-point game. Chapman misses, so it'll stay a 2-point game. Chapman 12.7 boards in the ball game. Marauders playing for the final shot, it seems, the first half, as they can go 2 for 1. They'll get the ball out of the halftime break. Phillips, step back 3, no. Chapman the rebound. Needs to just rip it ahead. He's gonna run out of time. Didn't make it anyway on the shot after the buzzer. And that'll take us to the first half break. 40-38 in favor of Antelope Valley. A good first half here from Lee Smelser Court. Time out on the floor, we'll go to it.
Welcome to College of the Canyons, where students become the success stories of tomorrow. Whether you're already in the workforce or just getting started, our flexible schedules are a game changer. And students don't just earn degrees. They catapult into desirable careers in top 4-year universities for just $46 per unit. Quality education without crushing debt. Ditch the cookie-cutter mold of college and make college work for you. Register now at canyons.edu/schedule.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's gonna go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved. Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Whether we're on the move or stuck in one place, it's with us, comforting, healing, and transforming lives. It's the power of you. With 4 world-class hospitals and over 170 clinics across Southern California, together, we're building a healthier community. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family. It begins with you. UCLA Health.
Can I get it Mike's way? What's happening?
And your free sub. Enjoy.
That was super weird.
Oh, that? Nah. She just used the shore points you can now earn from chip and drink purchases to get free sub through the app. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Make hosting your next event easy with the Dr. Diane G. Van Hook University Center. With over 30 meeting spaces, wireless video teleconferencing capabilities, food service, and technical support available, the University Center has everything you need to make your next event shine. Conveniently located near the 5 and 14 freeways in Santa Clarita, the University Center offers easy access to local airports and many attractions, making it the ideal meeting place for everyone. To learn more about our rental options or to book now, visit canyons.edu/University Center. Back inside Lee Smelser court, we go to second half action. Antelope Valley leading 40-38, and they'll start with the basketball here in the second half. Moving to our left in their maroon jerseys, Canyons on blue crush night in their traditional visiting blues. They get a stop on the defensive side of the first possession as Antelope Valley unable to connect. They'll get it to Donovan Cornelius, who lays it in, and we're tied at 40 all. Antelope Valley 18 of 36 so far in the game, 3 of 11 from 3. Canyons 14 of 33 and 4 of 13 from 3. So a very even matchup here. Cougars 6 of 11 from the foul line. Antelope Valley has only taken 3 foul shots in the ballgame. So that's the big discrepancy in terms of the offensive sides. Here's a 3 that's good. Knocked down by Malik Lorraine. Good to see him back in there. Lorraine, a 25% three-point shooter on the season. Gets Antelope Valley back up by 3. Wilson back to work for Canyons. He's been quiet today, just 2 points, coming off that 32-point game against Glendale. Certainly like to see him get going again. Here's Stacey Webb, his first bucket of the day. It's a 1-point game. Webb 1 for 4 now from the floor. Joseph Manger will catch on the far side. Burnside, Lorraine inside. We saw that early. Tony Corley was hot in the first 5 minutes at 6 points. That's his first bucket since really early in that first half. He's 4 for 4 from the floor. Canyons needs to find a way inside against him. He was on the bench for a while with 2 fouls. It's Corley, Phillips, Major, and Lagaya all with 2 fouls. Here's a jumper from Cornelius that's no good. On the other side for Canyons, Perez, Zigel, and Wilson all with 2 fouls. 3-point Antelope Valley lead. Mr. Burnside with the basketball, trying to drive against Webb. Kicks it into the corner. Major extra pass. Lorraine wide open, look for 3, but he missed it. Chapman able to tap the rebound to himself, and Canyons will go back to work into the front court. Wilson, Cornelius, Zigel, foul line jumper, too much on it. Easy rebound, nobody there for Canyons. Everybody had backed off. And Antelope Valley back to work. Wilson gets a steal, stepping in the lane. Taking it away from Major, trying to drive. Throws it up with the left hand, off the window and in. Wilson, just his second bucket of the day. Major back the other side to Corley. Corley off the window, no. Zigel, the defensive rip. Canyons gets a stop, and they go back to work with a chance to regain the lead. A circus shot from Wilson. Wilson this year averaging just 11 points a game. And that average went way up after the 32-point night against Glendale. He's a guy that if he shoots 60% from the floor and wins, so if Canyons can get him going, he shoots 50% from 3 in wins. Compare that to just 37 and 24. He certainly needs to be hot for Canyons this season as they're just 5 and 10 on the year. Burnside foul, driving to the basket, goes to the line for 2. Foul went against Stacey Webb. Going to be Webb's second foul. And we talk about that a lot with Canyons. Pretty much up and down the roster. Cornelius, 62% in wins, 43% in losses. Webb, 52% in wins, 40% in losses. We talked about Wilson. Chapman, 41% in wins, 33% in losses. Perez is about the only one on the roster that is consistent, hitting at 52 and 53. Zigel, 51 in wins, 37 in losses. Both foul shots good, back to a 3-point lead. So the depth for Canyons really needs to show up and be aggressive and successful at shooting the basketball to give them chances to win games. Here's Chapman, a 3, no. Wilson went up for the rebound. It kind of hung up too long, and he couldn't get a putback. We've seen Wilson, he can dunk. He leaps out of the gym. Got a lot of spring in his step. He'll have to guard here defensively against Lorraine, who throws it onto the near side to Eckert. Ever to Burnside, who spins. Bounce pass Eckert in the painted area. Trying to work. Dribbles himself out of trouble. Got it to Burnside. A 3 on the way. Too much on it. Zigel able to collect and keep the rebound in play. Got it to Webb. Webb going to sprint ahead. Stop-up jumper at the foul line is good. Stacey Webb's got 4. All of them coming in the second half. He's 2 of 5 from the line. Canyons trying to defend back the other way. And Wilson able to get a hand on the basketball and knock it away from Corley, who's shaking his right wrist as Raz Orbach will come in to take over for Webb here. Antelope Valley off that inbound. We've seen it a couple of times today. Just having a man run back up the floor trying to create off that inbound play. Now they try and create here for Major. He's able to back down Chapman and put it in. Major starting to find his rhythm. He's got 6 points on 3 of 6 shooting, or 3 of 5 shooting, excuse me, with 3 assists. Cornelius working to his left off the Orbach screen. Now stops. Puts up a jumper from about 10 feet. It's good. That's a nice shot for Donovan Cornelius. He's got 6 now. They need him to find his pace. Just 3 of 9 from the floor. Here's Eckert. Lorraine driving. Got the ball knocked out from behind, but got it back and put it in. Lorraine just 8 points in the ball game. 3 of 8 from the floor. Guy that averages 18.9. He's the 23rd leading scorer in the state. 283 points is 35th in terms of total points. Canyons has done a decent job against him so far today. Here's Cornelius, draws the foul. Running into him on a late closeout that time was Lorraine. It'll be Malik Lorraine's first. So you see Cornelius here. Just working, and it's the late bump. He'll go to the line. Donovan Cornelius, 76% foul shooter, 51 of 71 on the season. First trip for him at the foul line today. Knocks down the first, cuts the lead to 2. Substitutions as Perez in for Ziegel, and Webb back in for Donovan Chapman. So Canyons into their rotation early here. A little over 5 minutes into this second half. Cornelius splits the foul shots. It'll stay a 2-point lead, 51-49. Eckert with the basketball, running the point this time for Antelope Valley. Working to his left, now back to his right. Off the screen of Corley, dumps it to Major, trying to back down Perez. Just too much for Perez. A tip back is good for Corley, who pumps his fist back down the floor. He's got 10 now, is Tony Corley in double figures for the 6th time this season. 2 off his season high of 12. Good pass from Perez. Cornelius, though, blocked by Corley at the rack. Canyons not able to get a bucket that time. And Antelope Valley trying to work back up the floor quickly. Here's Burnside, dumps underneath. Corley fouled by Wilson. He'll go to the line. Started with the block on the defensive side by Corley. And you can see Canyons just not enough numbers back here as they try to trap in the corner. Everybody a little late. Corley underneath gets the foul. Wilson picks up his 3rd. Corley to the line. First trip today. 42% foul shooter, 9 of 21 before that, knocks it in. Wilson gonna go to the bench. Lead is now 5. Corley to match his season high, does. Season high of 12 in 3 games so far. A chance to go over it here today. Here's Webb. Antelope Valley high press that time, and they get a steal as Corley's long arms knock the pass away from Orbach. Lorraine now will send it out. Here's Burnside, spinning it down. Major working against Cornelius, double teamed. Chapman over to help. They kick it to Eckert. He'll put up a 3, no good. Perez the rebound. Out of trouble, sends it ahead. Cornelius at the 3-point line, got it to Chapman. Chapman wanting to drive, jump stop in the lane, lost the ball, got knocked out of his hands, and then he knocked it out himself. And a turnover on Canyons. That's something that the Cougars want to limit, and they have not done a good job today. 10 turnovers for Canyons, just 3 for Antelope Valley. It's interesting because Canyons this year has really struggled in the turnover front. You look 24, 23, 20, 20. They've been over 20 turnovers in a game 4 times. They really haven't done a good job at keeping the turnover margin even as Major is fouled that time. For Antelope Valley, they've had 7 games with a negative turnover margin. So far, just 3 in the ballgame. They've done a superb job at keeping control of the basketball. This coming off a game against Citrus where they turned the ball over 32 times. Scored 86 points, but lost 96 to 86. Now they get Major, Yusef Major to the line. First trip for him today, an 80% foul shooter, 54 of 67. Misses on the first. Broadcaster Jinx works on the other side. 55-49, 13:03 to go. Marauders in front trying to sweep the day. The women won in the opening game of the doubleheader. The men leading right now by 7. And it's just, again, a sluggish start, much like in the first half. This time it's lasted a bit longer. They need to get some shooting going. Antelope Valley aggressive here in the zone press. Canyons dumps to Orbach, who misses, but he's fouled. Horley going to be called for the foul, going to be his 3rd, and it'll send Orbach to the line. Actually, they gave it to Lorraine, his 3rd. It's actually only the 2nd on Malik Lorraine. Orbach misses on the first of 2. Orbach makes 1 of 2. 4 of 5 from the line. Orbach in double figures. 8th time this year for him into double digits. Scratch that he's got 9 points. Thought I was going to tick ahead, but he missed a foul shot, missed. Lorraine for 3 is good. And it's back to a 9-point lead now for Antelope Valley. Perez trying to match in the corner on the near side. He does. Burnside falling down. Got it to Eckert, now to Burnside. Cornelius trying to tighten up on him. Lorraine spinning away from Chapman. Wow. Lorraine showing off his ability right now. He's 18th in the state in field goals coming into the game. 133 for 226. Another turnover by Canyons. Lorraine now 5 of 11 with 13 points. Here's Major. Eckert waiting for Lorraine to get into the front court, and does. Lorraine, big strides off the dribble, draws the contact and goes to the line. Second foul on Cornelius. You can see Lorraine just driving that time. Malik 1 of 2 from the line today. Him and Burnside with 13, give Lorraine 14. Wilson back in. Taking over for Donovan Cornelius here. Rajon Chambers at the table now. Getting ready to check back in. Lorraine makes both. He'll check out, he's got 15. 10-point Antelope Valley lead, 63-53. Still lots of time left in this one, 11:39 to go, but Canyons needs to get busy. Cougars shooting 43% from the floor. Kickball called on Major. For Canyons this year, when they shoot between 40 and 49%, they're 1 in 5. When they shoot above 50%, 3-0 this season. So that really tells you a lot of the story as well. It's not as though they shoot poorly. Another kickball on Antelope Valley. As the Cougars this year, 43.5% from the floor, but that's only 54th in the state. You've got to shoot near 50% to be successful. They turn it over once again, this time off an inbound. Their 13th turnover of the ball game. Howard Fisher wants a full timeout in a 12-point game. We'll break with them. go back to work inside Lee Smelser Court. Canyons trailing by 12, 65-53. Webb going to try for three, no good. Webb, shot no good. It forced a tie-up between Wilson and Major. And it'll be Canyons basketball. Canyons got to find a way to connect more often. Antelope Valley shooting 51% from the floor. Wilson knocks down a three. He's been quiet today after the 32 points the other night, but give him 7 now as he starts to heat up. For Canyons, in their wins this year, the defense has shown up much better, holding opponents 45% shooting or less in their wins. Right now, Antelope Valley shooting 51% from the floor. A foul going to be called on what looked like a clean block. It goes against Donovan Chapman, going to be his first. And we'll see Galad Zigel off the bench. So you look for Canyons. They held Oxnard to 39% in a win. They held Long Beach to 31%. Orange Coast shot the best at 45%. Pierce at 43%. In their last one over Glendale, they held the Vaqueros to 36.8%. But this is an Antelope Valley team that's shooting 50% on the number from the floor for the Marauders when they shoot 50% this season. They're 3-2 on the year. They shot 54% in their loss to Citrus. They just got outshot by Citrus. Citrus shot 42%, but they were 11 of 28 from 3 in that ball game. There's a bucket for Canyons. On the other side, Burnside matches it right back. It was a 3 from Orbach and then a 2 from Burnside. So a 1-point swing for Canyons. Perez, a foul line jumper is good. Canyons back with an 8. Trying to close the gap here. Still half the second half to go. 10 minutes even left. Perez with 13 now. Put him in double figures once again. 14th time this season in 16 games he's been in double digits. Doing it off the bench again. An offensive foul away from the basketball called on Antelope Valley. Goes against Rajon Chambers. Going to be the 3rd foul on the Marauders. Cornelius checking back in to take over for Webb here. Wilson, the only player on the floor in foul trouble with 3. Antelope Valley in that high zone defense here. That 1-3-1 zone creates another takeaway. And an easy bucket for Burnside on a 3-on-1 fast break. Canyons needs to find an answer for this. They haven't had one so far. It's a 10-point game. Orbach against Corley on the block, dumps it. Cornelius bumping to try and back him off. Misses on a shot that had to go well up high. Major, an easy rebound, his first of the game today. And Eckert will slow things down into a half-court offense. Eckert, who averages 2.6 assists per game, only averages 4.3 points. Today, no points, 3 assists, 3 boards. Canyons gets a stop. Ziegel, 2 big steps and lays it off the glass. Spun it in. Corley on the other side, bumped by Orbach. 6th foul on Canyons. It's on the floor. It goes against big number 25 for COC, his first foul. Demetrius Phillips checking in. Takes over for Eckert. Lagaya in to take over for Major. .840 to go here. 71-63. Lead is 8 for Antelope Valley. They've stretched it out. It's a 2-point game at half. Lorraine went down. He ran right into Donovan Cornelius, who was uncomfortable initially, but looks like he's all right. It'll stay with Antelope Valley. Donovan Chapman will check in to take over for Orbach. Only non-starter in the game is Justin Perez for Canyons. There's Phillips. Bagaya backing down Ziegel, missed. Tap back, Corley trying to glide through, couldn't get it to fall. Canyons, again, they just don't have an answer for the 6'8" freshman center. Out of Eastside High School, when he wants to be active inside, and you see him in this high zone here, guarding out beyond the three-point line, it gives Canyons no options really to get it inside as he stretches out that wingspan. Perez. Wilson doubled, sends it to Cornelius. He'll put up a three, air ball. See the double trying to trap on that pass when Canyons works it to the wing. Again, nothing really the Cougars can do. Trying to get it inside as Corley takes away a ton of space. 6'8", probably about a 7-foot wingspan. Here's Burnside. Bagaya now. Phillips trying to drive, taken away. Chapman, Canyons needs to get out in transition here. Chapman will dump Ziegel. Ziegel spins it back. Now he wants to step back into an elbow jumper. Instead, he'll find Chapman on the pass. Chapman finds his way to the basket and lays it in. Chapman now with 14 and 10. He's got another double-double. 5th in the last 6 games. 5 on the season now. As he's come alive. A travel going to be called here against Burnside. A turnover and a timeout called by Antelope Valley. 71-65, 7:11 to go. Mick here on the floor. Totally down with it. All right, we come back to work. 71-65, 7:11 to go. Antelope Valley leading College of the Canyons. Cougars trying to come from behind once again. Cornelius into the front court. It's a 5-on-4. Perez will put up a 3, wide open air ball, but it falls into the lap of Ziegel, who's cruising through and lays it in. And Canyons now back within 4. 2-possession game, 71-67. Inside of 7 minutes to go. Corley tied up. Cornelius just strips it right out from him. Thought about getting it to Perez and instead gets it to Chapman. His shot short. Wilson saves. Chapman catches. Wilson corner 3 on the way! Bang! And we are a 1-point ball game. 71-70, 6.5 to go. Canyons trying to roll. And a foul on the other side. Chambers will go to the line. And Antelope Valley will be in the bonus. Foul went against Ziegel, his 3rd. Major coming back out. Chambers, a 75% foul shooter, just his 5th and 6th foul shots of the season. Was 3 of 4 before that, knocks down the 1st. 2nd is there as well. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard on a Monday here. When we get a moment, just WSC action really today, as these were all games that were canceled due to the wildfires last Wednesday. Perez fouled underneath by Burnside. You look, Santa Monica leading Bakersfield 72-65 with 5:20 to go in the second half. Citrus is running LA Valley out of the building at home, 106-51. Burnside is first. For Perez, he'll go to the line. Perez, 2 of 2 from the line today. Lorraine checking back in to take over for Phillips. Canyons 9 of 16 from the line. Antelope Valley on 12 of 15. Cougars 8 of 22 from 3, 27 of 58 from the floor. Marauders 28 of 55 from the floor. Perez misses 1 of 2. It's 3 of 4 on the day, 75%, which is right about his average. Marauders back to work. Vagaya, double. Lost the ball. Knocked away by Cornelius. Ahead to Ziegel from Chapman. Off the window. We're tied at 73. 5:50 to go. Marauders quickly back the other way. Burnside off the window. No. Rebound tipped in the air. Ziegel recovers. He'll run the fast break. A 3-on-2 the other way. Euro step off the window. No. Rebound comes to Perez, and Canyons with a 75-73 advantage. A storm from College of the Canyons, and they take the lead. 4-0 quick run. The defense has picked it up a bit. Lorraine to take the lead, and he knocks it down. Just what the doctor ordered for Antelope Valley, the Malik Lorraine. He picks up 18 now. His third 3 of the ball game. 76-75, 5:21. Exciting action, plenty left. We'll take a break. $76-75, 5:21 to go as we come back into Lee Smelser court. Malik Lorraine with a huge 3 just a few moments ago to give the Marauders back the lead after Canyons took a 2-point lead off really a barnstorming tour really from the Cougars as they just started to turn up the heat. And they've got themselves back in the game, trailed by as much as 12 here in the second half. Chapman thought about a 3, now gets it inside. Ziegel. Turnaround jumper in the lane is good. Halad Ziegel with 16 points today. Season high for him. 4 straight games in double figures. He has been on a run for Canyons over the last 4 and has really helped the Cougars turn the corner. This offensive set, or this unit that they've got going, has really changed things a little bit here in the midpoint of the season. Vagaya misses. Rebound tipped out to Cornelius. Dribbles himself out of trouble. Canyons taking advantage of Antelope Valley going small. They lead 77-76. Inlet no good. Lorraine a takeaway. Sends it ahead to Phillips. Phillips spins it back. Burnside striding, dumps. Vagaya off the window and good. An easy bucket for Vagaya. His second bucket of the day. He's got 4 now. Indians will bring it back ahead. 78-77, Antelope Valley leading. We've traded leads over the last few minutes. Cougars trying to regain. Wilson for 3, no good. Perez knocked down on the rebound by Major. It's going to be the 3rd foul on Yosef Major. It's only the 5th foul on Antelope Valley, but it keeps the ball with Canyons. Look at the numbers. Lorraine 18, Burnside 17, Corley with a nice game, 12 and 8. Major 11 points, a rebound, and 3 assists. For Canyons, Ziegel was 16 and 9, Chapman 14 and 10. Perez 14 and 7, then Orbach with 12 and Wilson with 10. 5 seconds called on Canyons. They never got the ball in play. So you get the ball back off a foul, but you turn it right back over. 17 turnovers in the ball game on Canyons, just 9 on Antelope Valley. Rebounds have been in favor of COC, 38-25. They've done a much better job on the glass over the last 2 games. And they're in it just trailing by 1. Corley back in the ball game. We'll get it over to Phillips on the near wing. He'll send it up to the top. Burnside trying to drive against Perez. Drew contact but no foul. Chapman, another rebound, is 11th. Cornelius into the front court. Been quiet today with 7, 3 of 13 from the floor. Just 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Canyons will try and go back to work. They get it to Cornelius. Cornelius bumps off a man, got it to Ziegel. Ziegel driving into the paint. Trying to draw contact. Instead, he'll send it to Perez. 8 to shoot. Now to Wilson into the corner. Chapman, a 3 on the way. No good. It hit off the scoreboard, off the score clock. It'll be Antelope Valley basketball. And you can see when Antelope Valley goes big like they have at the moment with Corley on the floor, Canyons just, they can't find a way to get inside and attack. And that's been kind of the difference. Every time Antelope Valley goes small, the Cougars able to run, and they can run with the best of them, it seems, so far right now in this early portion of the conference season. But just no answer down low on the big man. Here's Lorraine. Double teamed. Over the top of Wilson, no good. Wilson with the rebound, outlet. Cornelius, Canyons wants to run. Cornelius, Perez for 3, and the lead! Short. Wilson the offensive rebound. Dribbles it out of trouble, finds Perez, draws the contact from Corley, and Perez will go to the line to try and tie the game with 2:49 to go. Perez does not miss a lot of threes short. You see that one short, but Wilson the rebound, and a good pass from Wyatt Wilson. He hasn't affected the game on the scoring front as much as he did last game against Glendale. Just 10 points, but 4 rebounds, and he's done a good job defensively altering shots. Perez misses the first. Rare back-to-back misses from Perez at the line. For Wilson, 2 blocks, 2 steals in the ball game as well. Wilson can try and tie it at 78. Orbach up at the table getting ready. Perez makes the second, and he'll check out as Orbach will take over for him. So Perez will get a break on a stretch run. Howard Fisher going to call a timeout as he wants to talk things over. 78 all, 2:49 to go. We'll look at some of the numbers now. Stay right with us here, as I think it's a 30-second timeout. Canyons 30 of 64, 8 of 25 from 3, 10 of 19 from the line. Antelope Valley 30 of 61, 6 of 17 from 3, and 12 of 15 from the line. 16 turnovers for Canyons, just 9 for Antelope Valley. That's a bad discrepancy in terms of turnovers, but Canyons on the other side with a positive discrepancy when it comes to rebounds, 41 to 25. They've done a great job on the offensive glass with 14 boards on the offensive glass. 17 assists for Canyons, just 13 for Antelope Valley. Canyons with 3 blocks, the Marauders with 2, but Marauders with 12 steals in the ball game. Talked about Lorraine with 18, Burnside with 17, Corley with 12. And Major with 11. Ziegel 16 to lead the way for Canyons, 15 for Perez, 14 for Chapman, and 11 rebounds as well. 12 for Orbach and 10 for Wilson. Eckert into the corner. Lorraine. God, the body control impressive that time from Malik Lorraine. Gives Antelope Valley a 2-point lead. 2 big steps. Antelope Valley's John Taylor wanted a foul, didn't get it. This will continue on here. Cornelius moving back to the middle of the floor, trying to set up an offensive set here for Canyons. Cornelius been holding the ball the whole time, still looking for help. Now wants to dump it to Orbach. Lorraine defends it. Cornelius going to take it right back. He's going to have to throw it up to Ziegel. 3 seconds to shoot. Ziegel, a foul line jumper, no good. Rebound off of Major, out of play. It'll go back with Canyons here. Perez back into the game. Takes over for Orbach, 1:55 to go. Chapman to inbound here. 7 timeouts left in the ballgame, 4 for Canyons, 3 for Antelope Valley. Would expect a lot of them here in the last 2 minutes. Canyons on a full 30 seconds. Now just 8 to shoot. Perez got it to Wilson. Wilson lost the ball off the Chapman screen. Major takes it away, dumps to Corley, missed. Rebound came to Perez. He can push the pace if he wants, but he'll slow it up and throw it into the front court. Stolen by Eckert, played to Major, back to Corley, blocked by Chapman and a foul. Chapman gets his second foul, will send Corley to the line. Corley today, 2 of 2 from the line. Stacey Webb getting ready to come back to the game. Corley misses the first of 2. So to stay a 1-possession game. Donovan Chapman, Stacey Webb, Lad Ziegel, Justin Perez, and Wyatt Wilson on the floor as Cornelius gonna sit down for the moment. Burnside, Major, Corley. Corley misses both. Eckert and Lorraine. 2-point game. 1:13 to go. Webb, good pass. Perez trying to draw contact, no. Corley the rebound. Howard Fisher wanted to travel, didn't get the call as Corley maybe bounced his feet a couple of times, but they continue on, and then a foul on Webb. Eckert to the line for 1-and-1. Eckert 63% from the line, 7 of 11 this season. It'd make it a 2-possession game with 51.3. Makes the first of 1-and-1. Second is good. So it's a 4-point game. John Taylor calls a timeout. We'll break with it. 53.1 or 51.3 when we come back. In a 4-point game, 82-78. (82-78), Antelope Valley leading College of the Canyons, 51.3 to go. Canyons 4 times out remaining, Antelope Valley just 2. Would imagine we're gonna see a slowdown here in this final 51. Canyons gonna try and go with a little bit of pace as they want an early bucket. Wilson trying to drive, finds Ziegel off the window and good. And Howard Fisher gonna use one of his 4 timeouts. It's a 2-point game with 41.2. 82-80, a full timeout, I think they said. Yes, everybody gonna go sit down, so we'll talk things over here. Take you through some of the numbers. Ziegel with a solid game today, 18 points, 9 boards. He's a rebound is shy of a double-double, which would be his first of the year. 5th time in double figures with him, a season high. And he's been solid today. 8 of 13 from the floor. Again, another guy for Canyons. 51.9% in wins, 37% in losses. He's living up to that right now and giving Canyons a chance to win. That's really, we talked about it in the pregame, we've talked about it ad nauseum through the game. For the Cougars to be successful, they have to show depth offensively, and they've done that today. Ziegel, Perez, Chapman, Orbach, Wilson, all have double figures. Cornelius and Webb with 7 and 6. The only two players that haven't scored that have touched the floor are Figueroa and Abdelnour, but they didn't get a lot of minutes out there on the floor. So you talk about depth in terms of scoring for Canyons. That's a big key for them. For Antelope Valley, it comes down to their big three, and they get some help from Tony Corley today. But Lorraine with 18, Burnside with 17, Major with 11. That's a huge number. Corley with 12 and 9, just off a double-double. Would be his 6th of the year. It'll be Antelope Valley basketball in a 2-point game with 41.2 to go. And Canyon's going to come out in a full-court press here. Try and trap Lorraine. He got it to Eckert. Ahead Burnside. Over to Major. Major wanting to drive. Runs into a problem, and he traveled. Shuffled his feet. It's a turnover with 29.5 to go. 82-80. Canyons with an opportunity. Howard Fisher going to take a timeout to talk about things here. Another full timeout, so we'll stay right there. That is a huge takeaway for Canyons on really an unforced error from Yosef Major. Was driving, ran into Ziegel, who came out to pressure and just kind of slid his feet for an extra second. You can see Brian Kibble and Alan Waskanian talking things over with Howard Fisher as they want to set up what they want to do offensively here. 29.5 to go. It's a 2-point game. Canyons can play for the win with the shot clock off. That is a huge part of it as well. Or you can play for 2 and try and get a defensive stop. Either way, you have the option to run the clock all the way down if you can. The next foul on Antelope Valley will put Canyons at the line. Shoot 1 and 1. So tense moments here. Canyons trying to make it 2-0 in conference play. Antelope Valley 0-1 in conference play. Trying to get their first win in the conference. Marauders going to guard Webb enough to make him catch an inbound and turn around. Canyons will work around the perimeter for the moment. Perez up top to Wilson. Chapman, Ziegel. Ziegel doubled, had it knocked out of his hands. It'll stay with Canyons with 12.1 to go. I could guess Howard Fisher is going to call a timeout, and I would guess correctly. And I would guess as soon as they come out for the inbound, John Taylor will do the same thing after he sees the offensive set. It's a 30-second timeout here for Howard Fisher's squad in a 2-point game. So I would imagine we're going to trade timeouts here. 2 left for Antelope Valley, 1 for College of the Canyons. 12.1 to go. It's a 2-point game. Again, now you're down even further. Canyons can play for the win, which generally the consensus is on the road you play for the win, at home you play for the tie, and you take your chances in overtime. But for a 5-10 College of the Canyons team, you got nothing to lose. Yeah, you're 1-0 in conference play. You've got Citrus coming up, who Citrus might be the class of the conference this year, 6th ranked in the state. Blowing out LA Valley today. Ran them right out of the gym in Citrus, 122-67. But, I mean, really, Canyons, the aggression might pay off for you and get some, really get a win. Right now, them, Citrus, West LA, and Santa Monica, or them and Citrus and West LA all with 1 win. Santa Monica and LA Valley playing for the first time. Howard Fisher going to use his final timeout as Antelope Valley did a good job guarding the basketball. So the Cougars out of timeouts. I'm surprised John Taylor didn't take one once he saw the set. But tense times here. Santa Monica, LA Valley behind everybody by a game because they did not get a chance to make up their game yet. They eventually will. Santa Monica, with 25 seconds to go, has a 5-point lead over Bakersfield on the road. That's a big game in terms of Santa Monica trying to beat Bakersfield on the road. The Corsairs this year 7-6. The Renegades 8-7, so a very tight game. And both are 6-4 over their last 10. Canyons, second worst record in conference in terms of non-conference games at 5-10. LA Valley 4-9. 1-0 in conference play. That's really all that matters right now. So I would look for Canyons to go maybe to the hot hand in Zigel if they try for the tie. If not for the win, I would imagine Perez going to be the guy maybe they look for, or Wilson, who have both shot the three pretty well over the last couple of games. Chapman to inbound this time. And as they ran this end-around play last game to Wilson, Wilson misses. Chapman the rebound, tries for the tie. It was blocked out of play with 7.4. Howard Fisher up and unhappy. Thought maybe Wilson got fouled, but now he's going to holler out to his team to get set. John Taylor has the option to take 2 timeouts here. He's got 2 of them. Canyons with 7.4 with the basketball back. They get it. Webb, turnaround jumper in the lane to tie. No. Rebound pulled down. Canyons will be able to foul here with 2.6. They had the 2 looks they wanted. And Yosef Major has a chance to ice this one. The 80% foul shooter with 2 shots on the way with 2.6. Makes them both, and Canyons not really going to have an ability to tie the game. Makes the first. Second is good. It's a 4-point game. You would need a miracle heave. You're not going to get it. Chapman for 3, trying to draw a foul, doesn't get it. Antelope Valley will get to 1-1 in conference play with an 84-80 win. Canyons gave it a run, just came up a little bit short. They had a good look late. Wilson off that end-around play. Maybe got fouled, maybe did not. Doesn't matter. There's no option of replay here in the 3C2A. So that's how we finish it. We thank you for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your week. We'll see you back on Saturday. Canyons, LA Valley here at Lee Smelser Court inside the Cougar cage. 3-game week, a rare 3-game week in conference play. We hope to see you for that. Have a good one, everybody.